Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review for the AOC I2473PWY. It's a 23.8 inch monitor. It's an LED IPS monitor that has a 5 millisecond response time and 1080p at 60 Hz. Furthermore, the inputs of the monitor are HDMI, which I suggest, VGA, and you've got audio in and out, and obviously the power. Apart from that, that's the only inputs you're going to get. The price of this monitor is £150 on Amazon.co.uk. You'll find a link in the description below in case you're interested in buying the monitor. Now, one thing that really sets out the monitor is its speakers, and I'll get to that in just a bit after talking about the build quality. So the build quality of the monitor, the finish is silver. It's quite a nice look. Obviously, coupled with the speaker, it's quite a big stand for a monitor of its size. So therefore, do bear that in mind. For example, as you can see, in terms of my desk, I've had to shift everything a bit to the left and the right to accommodate the massive speaker, or at least the base of the monitor. Now, the monitor is a little bit disappointing in terms of its adjustments. All it can do is really do this. That is it. You can't, obviously you can do that, but then you'll be moving the whole speaker as well, and the base is quite big. And there's no sort of height adjustments. It's a little bit of a shame, as I would have liked a bit more adjustments, especially at the £150 price tag. If it was £100, I could have excused it. For example, like my LG display, it doesn't have any adjustments. It's not a big deal because of its price of £100. So now, build quality aside, what about the actual the panel itself? Well, the panel, as it has an IPS display, really does produce really nice colors. The contrast ratio is good. There's a very minimal, if any, backlight bleeding, and more so, the black level and the whites around it, as you can see on this owl's head over here, are really well. So if I just cycle through a few backgrounds over here, you'll be able to see the nice colors that are being displayed via this IPS display. I mean, look at that display, it looks stunning. So in terms of its color reproduction, out the box is very good, and this is with a 50-50-50 RGB color profile on user on the on-screen display. I'll show you that in just a second. Speaking of which, I should mention that the monitor has these on-screen touch buttons, and they can be very easily accessible, and they are very responsive. One thing I did note is that this little blue illumination that is found on there goes to red when the computer is switched off. However, there's no way to disable this button, so the only way would be to actually unplug the monitor. I didn't find the option in the menu, so it's a little bit of a shame that there is no such option. It's a very small thing to add there, but it's always useful in order to save that little extra 0. Whatever watts it might be, in order to be a little bit more energy minded, energy efficient. So now, what about the speaker? The biggest selling point of the monitor, and what I guess the talking point or why you would buy this monitor would be. So let's just zoom into the speaker a little bit. I'm going to play a bit of music, and then I'm going to compare it to my actual Celestion speakers. I want you to try and hear out some of the difference, mainly the bass, and try and see if you can hear a difference. I know my camera isn't exactly the best bet for sound quality tests, but try and listen out, see if you can hear anything.
Swirl.
And now I'm just going to rewind a little bit and then go to my Celestion speakers, go playback, and then now we're going to go there.
Swirl.
Now, I don't know if you were able to hear a real big difference on the camera, but essentially, as I said at the beginning, the bass. The bass is the biggest difference. Now, of course, I appreciate these are just small speakers that you can find on the bottom of a monitor. But due to having the Onkyo brand, I was expecting a better mid-bass slam. Unfortunately, there is no real impact that you get, so therefore if you're going to be playing games or anything with explosions, the sound feels kind of muffled and completely uncontrolled. The sub bass is non-existent, but that said, it's to be expected from monitor speakers. With that said, I should say it is reasonably big, and I have reviewed Bluetooth speakers of the similar size, if not a bit smaller, with a better sub-bass response. So a little bit give or take there, a little bit of a mixed bag. The mids and highs are decent, the mids being a little bit dipped, and the highs are rolled off. So overall, the speaker is okay, but it's not quite the £50 price tag I would have added on a premium on this AOC monitor. The reason I say that extra price tag is because a monitor of its similar sort of quality can be bought for around £100, as I previously said. Probably even less, considering how technology's moved on right now. So overall, I think that the monitor is a little bit of a mixed bag. I feel that someone could easily buy a cheap £50 Logitech speaker system and have a better sub-bass and mid-bass response with much clearer mids and highs. It's very simple, and I do understand that, you know, space might be limited on your desk, but those Logitech speakers are quite literally the size of this little Logitech microphone. They're about that high. They come over here, they're 2 speakers, and you've got a little sub as well to go along with it. Definitely not the best sound systems in the world, but they're speakers that will do a better job than what's included with this AOC monitor. So therefore, I've got to say, guys, I can't really recommend it if you're looking for a monitor with a speaker. If you're looking to get a monitor and you don't really care about the speaker, then why would you get this? Why not just save yourself £50 and buy a cheaper monitor with the exact same specifications? I think AOC actually have an IPS display with the exact same specs for around £100 to £115, and I would probably choose that one as it has better inputs, and on top of that doesn't have a massive bass stand, which is a bit too intrusive on the desk. So overall, I can't really recommend this monitor. I can see what AOC were trying to do with Onkyo, but unfortunately the speakers do let it down a little bit. If the mid bass was better, or if there was a nice sub bass to the speakers, then I think my views would have been completely different, simply because I would have said, well, why not? I can see why people would have preferred an all-in-one kind of solution rather than buying speakers on the side with a monitor. Anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a nice like. Comment, let me know what your thoughts are, if you've got this monitor, thinking about this monitor, or anything else. And on top of that, favourite and share the video, as it always helps to spread the love. And definitely, if you want to see more videos, subscribe, as there's a vast array of technology I do review. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care. Bye bye.